Bringing you a long-term review of the Silverstone TJ08-E. A few things about this case. This is a MicroATX case, and this is actually one of the smaller MicroATX cases out there from my personal experience. It's smaller than the Corsair 350D, which is the newer, kind of the higher end MicroATX case, which is more towards water cooling. This one kind of has a different design to it. But overall, this is the smallest design I've actually seen. There's many ITX cases, for example, the BitPhoenix Prodigy, that's very similar in size to this, actually. So you can cram a lot of performance into this case. It's actually going about using it in very different ways than what most people might actually use it for. The design overall hasn't changed. Like I said here, you got two 5 1/4 inch drive bays, which you actually don't need any more than that. As you see, I'm not using any of them. I like the sleek look of this. This is kind of a brushed aluminum design. And then down here you have the option for kind of, if you're putting, I don't know, what are these, 3.5 inch little bays down here for media card readers, which I find very useful. I need a media card reader because if you have a camera and you have a compact flash, it's just a lot faster to take the compact flash card out and plug it in to a media card reader. So I definitely like that down there. We do have a fan here in the front. I believe this is a 180 millimeter fan, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty positive it's 180 millimeter. This is a very nice fan. I do like that. I've had a good experience with the fan. I've had this system for over a year, and I haven't had any issues with it. One thing that I really like is you have this little fan controller that's low and high. I'm assuming that it's either 7 volt and 12 volt or 5 volt and 12 volt. But it's extremely well laid out. When it's on low, it's very difficult to actually go about hearing the case. When you turn on high, it does get a little loud. You do definitely notice that. But if you wanted to, you could switch out the fan. I haven't had any issues with the fan, and this is just a server, so it's a cheaper build. If it was me, I would probably throw in a Cougar or an Noctua or just a different fan in there that's a little bit more pressure optimized and just overall better quality. The fan in here is great. I will say I haven't had any issues with it, but overall it does get a little loud when you crank it up to that higher voltage. So looking at the actual inside of the case, this is actually where you would actually mount your hard drives. If you're looking for some hard drives, you can mount up to 4 hard drives in here. And then what you also have is you have a slot down here where we can actually see where I've mounted an SSD. You could stack 2 or 3 down there, no problem. Definitely 2, 3 might be pushing it. And then you actually have a little spot up here. If we could focus this, where you could actually, your graphics card will actually sit and lay right on top of there. You can see here there's plenty of room on the inside for cable management or any type of routing. It does look ugly how it is now, but this is a server build, which just shows you how much flexibility this case has. You could cram a server in here if you want. We have the 4 PCI slots kind of there in the back, which I do like. I find you don't really need more than that. Throw a sound card, graphics card, and maybe a capture card in there, depending on how you want to do things. We have a 120 millimeter fan here in the back. I replaced it with the Corsair one. I didn't have any issues with the one that was installed, but I just find the Corsair one is a little bit better quality. And I do have it mounted weird there. Just ignore that. It just helps prevent vibration. This is a server build. And then we have a dust filter here at the top that you can see right here. I do like this design. I do definitely like this. It has these magnets all here on the back that hold it in place. It just kind of slides around, and there's a little crevice here where it actually goes about its business. And then you just have your rear exhaust there for your power supply. And then you got some more ventilation here on the side, which you can see right there. Overall, really great quality. This is all brushed aluminum. If we just take another pan around here at the top, you can see it's not a big case. There's not a whole lot of length or width to this case. If we look here at the front, you can see we got 2 USB 3.0, headphone, microphone, power switch, all brushed aluminum, two 5 1/4 inch drive bays, 180 millimeter fan at the front. You can see it does have a dust filter. You just push this out, pull on that. We have a dust filter right there in the front, and as you can see, it works very well because this system's on 24 hours a day and it collects a lot of dust. And then we just have a small 3.5 inch drive bay down there if you want to put a media card reader in there. Very nice design, very overall good layout of the actual case. So my conclusions with this case is that after I've had this case for about a year, and I've had a overall pleasant experience with it. For $100, it's probably one of the best MicroATX, actually it is, in my eyes, the best MicroATX built case out there. My only gripe with it is there's not a window on the side panel that we have down here. There's no window on here. You could actually get one and install it yourself and do a little modding and go that route, but I would like them to implement something like that. Putting a window on there would be really cool, because I do see a lot of people actually making their own. And I like the overall brushed aluminum front panel. Haven't had any issues with scratching. It does get a few fingerprints, but they wipe off very easily with no issues. I like that it only has two USB 3.0 ports here on the front. These are all I use, usually only one at a time. Even on my main system, I'd never use the USB 2.0 or 2.0 on there, unless I'm just charging a phone or just having something sit there to just do some charging. So I do like that. I like that it has a media card reader here at the bottom. I really like that, especially if you're doing anything with camcorders, cameras, anything where you have to pop out SD cards, compact flash, anything like that. That is something that I really like. I really wish we would see a little bit more design like that. On the inside of things, I do like that you have options to remove this. It has very good, you know, I've had a build in this with this actually removed and installed, and I just like the way that it's laid out. The only thing about when it's installed is there is a little bit of airflow blockage from the actual graphics card. If you had a graphics card here, you'd get some air from here, which is a great design, so it's just flowing over here at the top. You know, that's just something that's, I like to use as much airflow in there as I can so I can keep things as cool as possible. I do like that it has a little mount here for some beefier graphics cards. Let's say you have the Asus 7970 DirectCU2, which is a 3-card layout, which is huge. It could rest right up here at top, so you're not going to have any sagging on your motherboard. That is something that I haven't personally done, but I do know that it's going to be a really nice option. I do like that it has a little bay down here where you can actually mount an SSD. You could actually probably stack at least 2, possibly 3 SSDs down here. So you could run 3 SSDs. You could probably mount a few on the back here. There's tons of room for cable management back here. There's just a ton of options. You can mount some SSDs back there. You could probably cram 4 or 5 SSDs in here and 4 hard drives. There's not going to be any issues if you want to do that. Personally, I'm an all SSD kind of person because, like I said, this is my home server. But that's just something to take into account. I would like to see one of my minor gripes, but I understand why they did it because there's no room for it because I was going to mod the case to do it. I would have liked to see a 140mm fan. I do like 140mm fans a lot better than 120. I find that you get a lot better cooling when you're actually using a 140mm fan. But overall, no issues there. We have 4 PCI slots, which is great. 2 is usually for your graphics card. There's only 1 card out there that I know that uses 3 PCI slots. So 2 are going to be for your graphics card. You could throw in a sound card. You could probably throw in, depending on your motherboard, you could probably also throw in some type of capture card. If you're running any type of video capture, you could do that. I like how there's a dust filter at the top and it comes off very easily. I haven't had any issues with the magnets dying. They have a nice magnet design in here that they're actually built into the plastic part of things. They're not actually just on the actual filter edging, which I have found on some of the Corsair fans that can come off after time. You have to glue them back on. It's not a big issue, but they go ahead and take that extra step there to make sure that that's something that you like. I would give this the highest praise of any MicroATX case out there. The Corsair 350D would be my other choice if you're looking for a little bit larger with a window, and that is more for liquid cooling because you can cram a 220mm or 240mm radiator in the top, so you can run like the Corsair H100i or the Swiftech H220. You can cram that up there in the top. This you won't be able to do that. You'll have to stick with one of the standard 120mm designed radiators. Thanks everyone for watching. Like I said, I would recommend this to anyone. I'd give it a thumbs up. It's still $100 right now. Very rarely does it come below that price point. Sometimes you can get it for $90. I would give this the highest praise of any case out there. It would definitely be a editor's choice if you want to say that. I don't have any standard for that yet. I probably should get one, but I would definitely give this an editor's choice top platinum award. It's that nice of a design. Thanks everyone again for watching J Wolf Tech Broadcast, and I will see you guys next time.